Suns picked the worst time of the year to have their worst performance of the season.
Yeah, Cam, it was their worst loss by scoring margin of the season, the most points they've allowed in a regulation game this season. They lost their best player to an injury, and the loudest cheer I heard tonight was when Bol checked into the game in what was already a blowout. That was the new level of low that the Suns found tonight in their loss to the Rockets. A once promising 4-game winning streak has turned into a 3-game losing streak. That's territory that this fan base is much more familiar with this season. 78 points for the Rockets in the first half. It gave the Suns plenty of time to ponder how things spiraled out of control.
Tonight they had everything. They were, the three-point line. They hurt us there. They hurt us on the offensive boards. They hurt us driving it. They basically hurt us with everything. So I think today was just, or tonight was a step in the wrong direction.
Fell asleep for a little bit, turned the ball over, gave up a ton of points in a short amount of time, and got down 30 and kind of lost the game.
This is a game that we can't have anymore. If we go down losing by them hitting 80 shots a game, then that's fine. But if we keep losing like this, it's not going to help us.
No, I wouldn't even say it's the losses. It's just not even being close in these games sucks.
Well, the last 2 quarters were mostly the Rockets practicing their dunk contest moves. This game was over at halftime. The team left to the locker room to a serenade of boos from the crowd. Cam, I know you said that fans should be given their money back, a refund tonight. Here's the irony on all that. Not only will they not be given their money back, but the last game of the season, the last home game, I should say, Fan Appreciation Night, they'll be given a Bradley Beal bobblehead. Beal hasn't played in the last 7 games. I can't think of a better and more fitting way to end a disappointing and embarrassing season for this team.
Mike Budenholzer tried to sell hope after the game. Is there any hope that this team can make the playoffs?
Budenholzer tried to sell hope. The locker room tried to sell hope with what they were saying, but you could see it on their faces. It was hopeless. I think every bit of hope that they had was crushed after this one. And yes, mathematically, they're still alive, but math can't tell the story of what we saw tonight on the court and then in the locker room. Not only are things looking bleak for the Suns, but the caliber of their opponent that they have to play down the stretch, it's still the toughest schedule left remaining in this NBA season. I don't see a possibility for them to get into the play-in game, especially if they're without Kevin Durant. If he misses even a part, or rather the next 3 games on this road trip, he's not going to be traveling with the team for the start of it. I don't see any single way that they get to the playoffs. This team just isn't built for it right now with their current setup.
You're absolutely right, Jake. I mean, without Kevin Durant, their most consistent and available member of that big 3 in the lineup, you're already missing Bradley Beal. The chemistry on the court, the cohesion won't be there. I don't believe that this team will be extending its season beyond 2 weeks from today when they're in Sacramento to face the Kings in Game 82. I expect that to be the last time we see this team in action. The schedule is not in their favor. They are not performing to the way that they need to perform at this stage. I don't think they're going to turn it around in these final 7 games.
Yeah, Lena, that is so hard to hear. It's still hard to fathom. It makes my head hurt. I need like an Advil the size of a hockey puck to digest the fact that this team with the biggest payroll in basketball cannot get to the play-in tournament, right?
The play-in. It was built for
I thought they had
bottom
figured something
dwellers.
out, Lena, with the young core guys around Katie and Book. But tonight, these past couple of games just go to show they need much more than that around those top superstars. I thought the idea was to figure out a way to get rid of Bradley Beal, build around Katie and Book. I don't know what to make of this team moving forward. I do know this. I don't see how they get to the playoffs. And if they do get there, I don't see if they make any noise. Jake, thanks a lot. Appreciate it out there, buddy. We'll check back with you a little bit later on in the show. So the Suns, 1.5 games back of the Kings for that 10th and final play-in tournament spot. 7 games left.
Tick-tock.
A brutal stretch coming up at the Bucks Thursday, at the Celtics Friday, then at the Knicks on Sunday. Good luck.
There's desperation, and then you have to go play. There's an element of at some point, you have to go and you have to get stops. You have to find a way to make things happen on the defensive end. You have to go and make plays offensively, and desperation and all those things, they're important, but you got to go play, and we got to play better.
You think, Coach? Suns lose to the Rockets, a lot to not enough. KD left with an ankle injury. Right now, Suns are 1.5 games outside of the playoff picture. with 7 games to go. Let's go back out to PHX Arena. Can the Suns make a playoff run with this tough stretch coming up? Jake Garcia with our insider.
Dwayne, how do you even begin to sum up what you saw tonight? Biggest deficit of the season. There was a dunk contest going on in the second half. Vibes were not good tonight for the Suns.
Vibes were horrible. Not good is not the appropriate word. They were horrible. Let's just start off with that. Then Kevin Durant suffers an ankle injury, which made it even worse. He's out. That's even adding more to the doom and gloom that was tonight. But the biggest number of the night, they were down by as many as 42 points at home. After losing by 30 to Boston at home. Fans were exiting early. I didn't even hear boos anymore. I think they're over it.
You've been around this team all season long. You've been in the locker room after every single game. Is this the lowest morale has been, just given where we're at in the calendar and the fact that they're realizing that time is running out?
It's hard for me to say this. It's hard to believe it, but that's true. This is the lowest that I've seen. Even when they lost to OKC by 31, it was OKC's the best team in the league. This was an absolute low, and the Houston Rockets were trying to win by more. They were not letting up, as you said. The fact that it's 39, you can credit Bobo, because it would have been worse if he'd not gotten the game and played later.
At the start of tonight, I felt like the 3-game road trip might have been, the make or break point of the season. But if they don't have Kevin Durant for any of that, there's no making it. The season's pretty much it, right?
Yeah, I mean, if they don't have Kevin Durant, you pretty much can call it a wrap. I don't like to call out teams like that and call it season over until it's over. Still got Devin Booker. They're saying Bradley Beal played 5-on-5, so maybe he comes back. But on the flip side, maybe you just say, hey, look, let's just shut it down. Let's shut Durant down. Let's shut Bill down. Let's just try to get ready for next year and figure out what we're going to do in the free agency market. But if you want them to play this out throughout the rest of the year, doing it without Kevin Durant, it's going to be hard, very tough.
What are you going to be looking for this home stretch for the Suns?
I'm just curious to see how they play it out, how they coach it up. Are they going to let the young guys go? Are you going to start Oso Iguodala? Are you going to let Ryan play a bunch of minutes? You're still numerically alive. It depends on, I think, how the road trip goes, how they end up playing the rest of it out. It's hard to even fathom them getting in the play-in because of how they play, not because of the talent, not because of the players, but how they look tonight makes it hard for me to believe that they can get in the play-in. But did I see a 4-game win streak for them either earlier, just about a week and a half ago? No. So you don't know what you're going to get with them, but based off tonight, I can't see no way they make the play-in.
Dwayne Rankin, best dressed guy on the court. Appreciate the insight.